Now, key to being a big league pitcher is the 3 R's. Readiness, recuperation, and conditioning. You see, after the game, a lot of guys like to ice up their arm. Still other fellas think that heat is the way to go. But I have discovered the secret, Henry. Hot ice. That's right, hot ice. I heat up the ice cubes. It's the best of both worlds.
What's going on, everybody? You're listening to the Baseball Goombas. Today is February 26th, 2019, our 25th podcast episode. A little bit of Phil Brickman giving us some words of motivation there from Rookie of the Year. John Goomba here with Chris Goomba. What's going on, Chris?
Chris Goomba! Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Here we are. Spring training has started. Love Rookie of the Year. Can't go wrong with that film. Phil Brickman.
A lot more lines than you realize.
It's great. It's a great movie. We are talking, as if you're not sick of him already, Mr. Manny Machado.
Mm-hmm.
And first things first, thank the heavens it's over.
Brutal.
Because it was getting out of control. I mean, out of control.
Worst offseason.
Sources here, the sources, we're not going to name names, you know who you are. Sources here, sources there, the parody accounts on social media. I mean, it set the social media world
still going on
ablaze. Harper is, it's still
brutal.
Still going. It should be coming to a
this week. It's gonna happen tonight. He's in Vegas. He's in Philly. Just let me know
who stepped foot on the soil here and it's done deal.
Oh my God,
it was
physically painful.
Funny and fun at the beginning, but as it wore on, it kind of got relentless and was not really that fun anymore.
We were refusing to talk about it until he actually signed.
It was way too much.
Because I was getting really sick.
I've never seen anything like it.
I was honestly getting so sick of rumor talk that I literally didn't want to talk about it ourselves.
It was really bad.
Physically painful.
And again, you still got Harper, but that should be coming to a head, hopefully.
Yep.
Hopefully by the end of this week, if not next week. I mean, how much longer is this guy going to drag on? But you also have Kimbrel's not unsigned. You have Keuchel, all these guys. It's
a lot of big names that you
pretty crazy.
And actually, I completely forgot about Marwin Gonzalez because
he just signed.
I know, but there were a lot of talks about him, like the Mets, and then there was a couple other teams.
Every team could use him.
And then just talks completely stopped, and you're like, wait a second, did he go anywhere? And then the Twins swooped in and got him for a steal.
And every team can use him. Every team can use Keuchel.
Yeah.
And Kimbrel's no slouch. I think he's a good reliever, good closer. But so Machado, as I'm sure everybody knows by now, he got 10 years, $300 million.
Yep.
Which is a nice little chunk of change.
There you go.
With an opt-out after year 5. The bottom line is that, yes, the Padres have been boring and irrelevant since 2011. Whether you love the guy, you hate him, or you really don't care, best fit aside, Machado gets a meaty and hearty $300 million to go play a game alongside extremely talented youngsters.
True.
In beautiful, sunny San Diego.
That's very true.
For the next 10 years.
If he chooses.
Maybe. Perhaps. Because again, that opt-out. Can he go to the Bronx? Maybe. We'll see. And yes, the Padres have some nice arms coming through the pipeline. But right now, this very moment, going into the season in a month, the rotation is a damn question mark. Contending this year, if they're serious about contending this year, I think they need to upgrade the rotation.
100%.
Keuchel, again, he's out there.
If they were in on Harper, there's no reason. Like after the Machado sign, they said we're not ruling out Harper.
Right. I mean,
why are you even talking about more offense?
You need the lineup with Machado is going to be nice. Again, with the youngsters coming through, it's going to be nice. But the pitching right now is not.
It's atrocious.
It's not ideal. Again, you got Keuchel out there. You got Gio Gonzalez, who's a serviceable starter, and you have Clay Buchholz, who came blazing last year. He was great until he got hurt. And then you also have Kimbrel, maybe if they want to use Kimbrel again. But
back to San Diego,
right.
He's been there before.
In the end, Machado got his money, even after all the chatterbirds about how last postseason, was going to do a number on his free agency and he wasn't going to get paid nearly as much as everybody thought, everyone that he thought. Talented superstars get paid. It's the bottom line. Not Johnny Hustle's types included. Kudos to AJ Preller and the gang. Padres gang for ponying up and going for it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the bottom line.
Yeah. All the teams that weren't willing to put up that kind of money.
Is it a lot of years? Sure. Is it a lot of money? Sure. But I think if they're serious about contending this year, they need to upgrade the pitching. That's it. I mean,
yeah. Well, like just Machado. You know what you're basically getting with Machado during his 7-year career. 282, 175, 513 ribs, 38.8 WAR, and his WAR last year was a 5.7. It's almost a 6 WAR last year, which is crazy.
You know what you're going to get with this guy.
And his 162 game average, you know, the 282 again, 335 on base, which I thought was weak. 335 on base is pretty weak for a player that caliber. 91 runs in a season, 184 hits. He's never cracked 200. 31 homers, 37 doubles, 9 stolen bases, about a little over 100 Ks, 117 Ks. But you're getting a durable Gold Glove player. You're getting 4 straight years of 156 plus games played. He's out there.
You're getting a nice player. I mean, more than nice player. You're getting a great player.
Yeah, that's why
he's been
number 2 free agent out there this year.
The greatest players we've seen come onto the scene recently.
Yep.
And again, you said the numbers last year with both from the Dodgers, 297, 37 home runs, 107 RBIs. That's literally right around the production you're going to get.
Yep.
Unless something catastrophic happens and he has an awful, a 240.
Well, I'll get to that in a minute. So he's a 4-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove, both at third base. Other years he split time between short and third, so I can see why he didn't get it those years. 2017 he got robbed. He lost the Gold Glove award to Longoria. Please don't tell me Longoria had any type of a better year defensively than Machado. I don't even care. I don't even want to look at the numbers. I don't want to see a highlight. Machado was the best third baseman in the American League during that time. Now he's got competition with Arenado. That's going to be interesting. Arenado was a shoo-in. Yeah. But now with Machado basically saying that he'll be playing third base for the Padres, that's going to be interesting. But what you have to be concerned about is, I know he's been consistent, and I know he's put up these numbers, but you got to be concerned about being a Padre. And it just sounds ridiculous.
Baseball players go there to die. Right?
They do. I mean, Hosmer.
Unfortunately, I mean, it's San Diego, it's Cali,
I don't know what it is. It's just certain baseball teams. I mean, Eric Hosmer.
I just mentioned it not 2 minutes ago. They since 2011, they haven't had a winning record. Mm-hmm. It's just irrelevancy. But you got year after year after year. You got to give them the props for putting up the money, because they did just do it last year. Kudos.
8 years, $144 million for Eric Hosmer. Eric Hosmer, off of 2017, did 318, 25 home runs, 94 RBIs, played in all 162 games, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger. Comes to San Diego with a big contract, 253, 18 home runs, 69 ribs.
And he's better than that.
And a 1.4 WAR. He's 100% better than that.
Hosmer, I think he's a great ball player. And he's a champ. He knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He knows what it's like
Gold
to win.
Glove. Yeah, he really knows his
which can help Machado along the way.
But his average dropped 31 points for no reason, and it's just
it's just something about San Diego.
It says something about San Diego, but you also maybe have to blame who was around him. Right. He really doesn't have.
They were bad.
But now you got Machado.
They were really bad last year.
And they were.
They were terrible.
But I mean,
but yeah, no, you're right. Now you got to think of who's coming up now. You got Tatis, you got Urias. Now you got Machado in the infield with him.
First of all,
so now he has more. Will Myers. He was off injured last year. Yeah. I still think he's good.
First of all, speaking of the pipeline, now that they signed Machado and Tatis is going to play short, we know this. Urias is probably going to go to second. Ian Kinsler signing is a complete waste.
Depth. Kids.
Kinsler, but you didn't need Kinsler. Now you don't.
He's still good.
He's old. But you don't need. I know, but I mean, I'd rather you're gonna play the kids. You are. But I mean, going into the rotation.
I think before we go there, I think Hosmer is gonna have a little bit of a bounce back. I don't know how.
You have to. I mean, I know I'm not asking for the home runs.
I'm just asking to climb back. He's way better than 250.
Climb back to the 280s.
Hosmer's a 280 guy.
Climb back to your 80 plus RBIs and get in that Gold Glove conversation.
I think Hosmer is going to be good for Machado.
They're going to be good for each other, just because
and next
to each other in the line.
Right, and Hosmer will be good for these kids, and also Machado should be good for these kids. Machado should be a good teammate, and I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying Machado and Hosmer is a nice dynamic duo for the young kids to lean on, for shoulders to lean on. They're two great ball players. But yeah, so again, the infield is it's nice. It's nice.
It's a nice infield once.
Machado, Tatis, Urias, and Hosmer.
Yep. And Mejia, you got nice pieces of Mejia too for the offense.
Right.
So you got nice kids coming up.
It's nice, and patience is going to be key. Again, that's why maybe this year they're thinking whatever they can get, they'll take. Whether it's 70 wins,
if you get 75 wins, I call it
right. 80, 500. It's going to be a lot of patience for the Padres and making these kids go through growing pains. But the thing is that again, it's this rotation right now.
I can't even love it. I'm looking at my sheet of paper. I'm like, what is this?
It's not ideal to win some ball games here.
Basically, all they did in the offseason, they went out and got Garrett Richards.
He's good.
To be 3 straight years of injuries.
Yeah, he's
a career 3.54.
He's very creaky, that guy.
I mean, but what teams like the Padres and the Angels and the Rangers, they refuse to go out and get an ace. Go get an ace to compete in the playoffs. You go out and get guys like Matt Harvey.
Shields.
You go out and guys that are high ceiling, and then they don't pan out. And next thing you know, your ace has a 4.5 ERA, and you wonder why you're not winning baseball games.
Yeah, they never have pitching.
Garrett Richards it's a nice risk if you're risking like a 3-starter. You can't be risking top of the rotation guys.
Can't be your ace. You can't lean on Garrett Richards.
No, you can't. 3 straight years of injuries.
You can't lean on him being on the DL.
No, 3 or 4 starters is what you should really be relying on. Joey Lucchesi.
So so these names. Go ahead.
Joey Lucchesi, he's got potential. I'm a big Lucchesi fan. I watched more Lucchesi games than I care to admit last year. Unorthodox lefty, 26 games started, 4.08 ERA. He's got a nice quirky little windup. But you could see he's got good stuff.
He's got potential.
I like.
But
Lucchesi.
that's their ace right now. That's their number one.
I mean, between him and Richards, depending on how Richards pans out. But after that, I mean, it is
Eric Lauer.
You didn't have. You got
Robbie Erlin, ex-Yankee Brian Mitchell.
But like the ERAs, so all these guys had.
Last year, I'm sorry to cut you off, but last year the total ERA for the Padres 4.40.
That's good.
That is good for 13th in the National League.
See,
13th.
That's what I'm talking. They did nothing to improve it. You're at the basement, and you went out and got Garrett Richards was your solution. You had Eric Lauer with 23 games started, 4.34 ERA. Robbie Erlin. So the top of your rotation is 3 lefties. You got 3 besides Garrett. Lucchesi, Lauer, and Erlin are all lefties. Erlin with a 4.21 ERA. Here comes Jacob next with a 7.02. Yeah, he's gonna go. And Brian Mitchell, ex-Yankee, like you talked about 5.42, but I don't see Mitchell as a starter.
No,
he's like a 6th. He's not a starter.
He's like a long man.
Yeah,
fill-in starter.
I mean, he's gonna be the odd man out when Richards.
He's kind of resembles Adam Warren.
Yeah,
maybe Brian Mitchell's more of a starter,
spot starter,
right? Than Warren is. But they're very similar type.
But you wonder why they just wouldn't go out. It's just
not going to win ball games. It's not.
If you're saying you got money for Harper potentially,
and again, I don't think it's out of the question, out of the realm of possibility that Harper goes to San Diego as well. I do.
It changed the game.
I don't know what is in his head or what he's leaning towards. I just think. I guess the reports are true that he doesn't want to play with the Phillies.
Seems like he doesn't like them.
Yeah. So I think it's entirely possible that Machado and Harper will pony up together, go to San Diego. I still think there's a possibility that he's headed back to Washington. I know that door apparently is shut, but I don't buy it either, so I think that's a possibility. And Johnny over here thinks the White Sox are still going to swoop in.
I love the White Sox. Don't look at the opening day roster. They're going to call up their kids really quick. Eloy Jimenez, they're going to call up all these kids, and they're going to be a different team, and they're going to compete.
But now you look at the Dodgers. I guess, L.A., Hollywood, Bryce Harper is made for...
Yeah.
So I can see him in blue.
But basically, the Padres' focus right now should be getting an ace, and Keuchel's the guy, which
I agree.
Has been an absolute ghost this offseason. I haven't even heard of an offer. I don't even know what he's asking. Nobody knows anything about Keuchel. Nobody knows a thing, and he's a bona fide ace.
I just saw the other day on the Twitter that Keuchel did a voiceover for the Astros. You saw that, hey, this is Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah, you're watching Astros baseball.
That's where he is right now.
I did hear about
you're watching Houston Astro baseball. That's where we're at right now.
Who's in that editing room?
Unbelievable. How are we? I don't know. But every team can use Keuchel.
Even if not that, Gio Gonzalez. You know
he's
what you're
nice
going to get with Gio.
He'll get you 12 wins.
But he's also going to pitch for you the entire season.
It's consistent.
He's going to be a durable lefty in your rotation, top second or third starter, especially in this rotation. And you missed out on Ervin Santana, who signed a minor league deal.
I don't know if they missed out on
Jacob Nix.
I'd rather have Ervin Santana.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't know if they missed out.
You missed out on building this rotation in any way. And I know they have a lot of pitchers in the pipeline.
Yep.
They got some big names that are expecting a lot of things from. Mackenzie Gore.
Right.
Probably has the highest ceiling. Love me some
Paddock.
Mackenzie Gore. But Mackenzie Gore's still young.
All the kids are young.
Abel, 2-5 with a 4.45. Ryan Weathers, they just got him. He's still a kid. Michael Baez, okay. 17 games in high A ball with a 2.91 ERA. Gets called up to Double-A. 7.36 ERA in 4 games. Yeah. So these guys aren't ready. Maybe Paddock, like you just said.
Yeah,
Paddock had good starts and 7 starts in Double-A with a 1.91. I'll give you Paddock's probably the closest to being Major League ready. But are you really going to bank on Chris Paddock? That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing in San Diego. You say, no more. We go. Paddock's going to be here in a month and a half. We got a spot for him. Come on.
They're nice arms. They got talent. Obviously, but you don't know how these guys are going to pan out. For every 3 starters that become aces, you're going to have 8 or so that are going to be 4 or 5 starters, or not even.
Familia was supposed to be a starter. Look at him. He's one of the best closers in baseball. To now, he's an 8th inning guy. You never know what these guys.
You never know. You're right. No. So again, we got Core, Paddock, Cal Quantrill.
Yeah. But
Logan Allen.
Oh, these guys are young.
Patino. Yeah, they're all. So they got a lot of.
They're all literally sitting in Able or Double-A. None of them are even they serve time in AAA. They're ready to make they're all very young.
They're good.
They're probably. I mean, at least not this season. I don't see them really.
I think whatever. Again, I think whatever they get, they'll accept. And anything more than, what do you think? 75 wins. Anything, say 8, they get it in the 80s.
80s is a huge.
Would be a success.
Yeah, 100%.
And I just think that although the Padres have been boring, now with Machado there, they become instantly more appealing and more interesting. Mm-hmm. And again, patience is going to be the key now with these kids, and with also what makes. I don't know if it's possible he'll opt out. I don't know. We have no idea. That's way down the line. So we're not even going to go there. But what makes this... What is going to make this signing a success? World Series? What if they never get to the World Series? What if they're, they go to the postseason? He stays. He stays all... Do you think he's going to stay... First of all, do you think he'll stay all 10 years?
I think it all depends on...
I think it depends on the money.
I think it depends on if he...
I think where they are.
Honestly, I think it's all money. If he thinks... So basically the back end, he would be getting $32 million a year for the last 5 years. I think it all depends on if he thinks he can walk away and get more than $32 million. I don't know what the market's going to be at that point, but if he thinks he can get, 5 years, $200 million, he'll 100% walk away. But if he realizes that he stunk and he's putting up Hosmer numbers... Then there's no way he's gonna walk away. He's just gonna die in San Diego. Yeah. Literally, that's what he's gonna do.
I think a World Series, 1 World Series, 2 World Series. I don't know.
That's a lot. I was thinking more of the lines of basically what Bryce Harper did with the Nationals. Couple playoff appearances, couple division titles.
Nationals have been.
But
they've had so much talent, yet nothing to show for it. Really.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. If they make it to the playoffs 3 times during his 5 years, and they win a division, 2 wild cards, I'd say for San Diego,
it's a slippery slope.
I know, but it's San Diego baseball.
It's hard to get excited about San Diego.
It's a little bit.
The last time I think of when San Diego was good is the Yankees-Padres World Series. This is the last time I think the Padres were good. And that's a long time ago.
Yeah,
That's 1998.
What I think is, I mean, what year was it with the Rockies and PV, and they were giving up like they couldn't hit, but they were giving up like a run a game. Like their rotation just wasn't giving anything up. I forget when it was. I think it was around when the Rockies were making their run. I don't know
either.
But
but
they weren't even hitting the ball. They were they just trickled. They fell into the.
It's been so long, but listen, it's a matter of producing. It's a matter of winning. And it's a matter of guys getting their money. And right now he got his money. And now it's a matter of wins. So, again, we'll see what happens. But we want to shift gears to a little fun nuisance of a change we might see in the near future. We want to talk a little bit on the pitch clock.
Brutal!
As you can see, we are not that much of a fan on it. They are testing it right now in spring training.
Dumb.
So
yeah, test it when the games mean the absolute least. Absolutely meaningless game. Number 97's pitching, but this is where we're gonna test the future of the game.
With any new rule, anything, there's always going to be two sides to the story. Some are going to like it, some aren't going to like it, and that's just the way it is. But for this pitch clock, it's just a pace of play tactic. I get it. I understand baseball is a long game. Last year...
Change the channel. You don't like
you're right.
You don't like it, change the channel. Go watch something
else.
else.
The solution is changing the channel, not a pitch clock.
We don't want you here.
Last year, on average, a game came in at 3 hours and 5 minutes. It is the longest in MLB history. So...
Well, there's things that have added to that, like replays. Replays has added, it has to be all replay.
I get it. I understand baseball's a long game, but you get what you get. I mean, it's baseball. It's not.
First of all,
snap of the fingers and it's
every
inning 5.
Every single NFL game is 3 hours. The difference with this sport is there's not 16 games.
Right.
There's 162, but they're the same length. But if you can't handle 162 games, get out of here.
Right. I totally agree. I'm not a fan of it, and it's not just me. Maybe it is me being stubborn, but it's baseball. Accept it. Leave it alone. Change the channel. Don't watch it. So what it is really is hitters. So the pitch, except for the first pitch of the at bat, it's not applied.
Yeah.
It's not implemented. As soon as the catcher throws the ball back to the pitcher, that's when it starts. So you got 20 seconds.
First of all, brutal watching games with a big clock ticking on the left side of the screen. I was like, can we get this off?
It's ridiculous.
Continue.
Right. So the catcher throws the ball back to the pitcher. The clock starts, and the hitters are required to be in the batter's box by 5 seconds remaining on the clock. So hurry up and get in the box.
Hurry.
The pitcher need only to start his motion, before it expires, rather than the actual throw. Okay? The clock resets after the ball thrown back. All the mound visits, the pickoff attempts, the clock resets.
So, continue, because I got...
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And now I believe, from what I've been hearing and reading, that right now in spring training, the games, they're just testing it out right now. So there's not going to be no warnings or no what. As the games go on and the weeks go on, second week, third week, umps are going to start issuing warnings. And then if the batters don't adhere to it or the pitcher don't adhere to it, they're going to issue balls and strike penalties. Like ball and strike penalties.
This is what's great about baseball. And one of the great about baseball. There is not one single thing in this game that grants strikes, balls, runs, or outs by a penalty. In 150 years of baseball, you're not granted anything for a penalty. Now we're handing out balls and strikes. 150 years of baseball because you took 21 seconds. Here's a ball. Get lost.
I don't know. I mean, again, there's gonna be.
Get lost.
Some will love it.
Walking
some will
in the
hate
game-winning run without throwing a baseball. Give me a break. Come on.
It's just not. It's not
infuriating.
Yeah, it's really chapping our arses right now. Again, you got every ball player is different with their routines.
You're asking half the league to change their routine
with their with their quickness. You got I'm just saying you got Chris Sale, you got J Happ. They're quick workers.
Yep.
You got Tanaka, who's notoriously not quick, but you get what you get. Okay, I was just saying before we came live here.
You go to a game and you see who's throwing, and you're just like, it'll be a 3-hour today.
It's just you accept it. So, like I said, I was just saying before we came on the air here that if you got Yankees Reds, if you're going, say you're going to the game Yankees Red Sox, and you got game one, you're going to the first game of the series, and it's Chris Sale against J Happ, right? And you're going to that game, you're like, oh, it's gonna be a quick game because you got Chris Sale and J Happ. Yeah. Okay, maybe you got tickets to game 2 of the series, and it's Porcello against Tanaka. Oh, Tanaka's a slow, but you accept it. You go there, you accept it. You go there to watch the game. You go there to watch baseball. You understand what you're working with.
This is what I'm saying.
You're not going to be worried about a batter. He's got to hurry up and get in the box with 5 seconds because the clock's ticking. Clock's ticking down. I don't want to be issued a strike here. Like, no.
This is
that's not what we do here.
If you call yourself a baseball fan and you don't like 4-hour Red Sox-Yankees rivalries, it's like I said before, here's the remote. Go watch Property Brothers. Go watch Flip or Flop marathons. Leave the baseball to the diehards. The clock isn't for the fan. The clock is for the people who aren't fans that say baseball's too long. Mm-hmm. If you're a diehard, you say you have no issue with the time of the game. Nobody's trying to watch 162 games. I don't watch every single game. But what I'll do is I'll check my phone to see how the game's going. It's like, you don't have to sit there and watch every single game. Nobody's forcing you to watch these games. If you don't like it, if you don't like the time, turn it off. You feel like, wow, this is late. I gotta head home. Go, leave. Nobody's forcing you.
Go eat dinner. Shut it off. Go eat dinner.
Nobody's forcing you to watch it. Leave it alone.
Go eat. You gotta go run an errand. Go run an errand. Catch it on your phone. Catch the updates on your phone. I mean, right. No one's forcing the human being to watch the game.
And now they're saying, I know that.
But then you have the writers, then you have the reporters that you got to cover the game. I understand it. But you chose this job.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
You chose the job that you want to do. Okay,
you chose this.
You chose it. You knew what you were going to get into. When you signed up for this job, when you got offered a job, and you say, you know what, handshake, I'm accepting the job. I'll see you day one on the gig.
Keith Hernandez does nothing but complain about long games, but he's still there every year. He knows what he's doing. He's a baseball guy. He understands how it goes. He complains when games go 4 innings or when there's a rain delay, but it's the way it is.
Well, I don't understand. And listen, I went to school for journalism and for writing and communications and all that, all social. I went to school for all that. I get it. So I love all the reporters. I love all the writers doing what they do, because it wasn't for them, we don't win another news. Okay, they inform us like no other. So yeah. I understand that. I get that. But they also chose the lifestyle. If you don't want to sit and watch baseball for 3 hours, don't do it. Go somewhere else.
The simple as just don't do it.
Like, I don't understand.
And I don't want to hear the thing about players will adapt. Of course, the players will adapt. They're not invalids. Okay, they're human beings. They know how to change things. They obviously adapted to the collisions at the plate and the second base rule with sliding after Chase Utley killed Ruben Tejada. But it doesn't make it right for Major League Baseball. Just because they could adapt to it doesn't mean it's right for the game, and it makes it a better game. If you want to keep this in semi-pro, amateur ball, and minor league ball, where the talent's a little less,
do it.
And they struggle to get fans.
This is the bigs.
That's where you do it to maybe get a bigger fan base. Hey, you could go watch a baseball game with the Florence Freedom, and it'll be 2 hours. Go ahead. I don't know that this is Major League Baseball. Don't rush Max Scherzer. Let Max Scherzer be. How many Cy Youngs does this guy need? Leave him alone. Leave Max Scherzer alone and let him pitch. It's a work of art. I want to watch this man pitch 1-run ball after 8 innings. I won't rush him.
Right, and he works pretty quickly, I believe. If I'm
Yeah,
not
he does
mistaken.
work pretty quickly, but I'm still, and he doesn't like it.
It's the theory. It's the theory.
Yeah.
Okay. I totally agree. I really do. You want to watch these guys work. You know, who was complaining? Again, it was years ago, but who was complaining about? I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I really did. Maybe I was younger, but I still think it's cool. Who was complaining? You want to talk about pace of play when Nomar was going through his whole routine doing that. I mean, I thought it was cool. I'm sorry.
Everybody's doing the batting glove.
Who's doing this with the gloves? Who's doing you got Jeter doing all the, putting his hand up and doing it, all his batting gloves, tipping his helmet. Like, you got all that stuff.
Or you can do Bertie Williams and call timeout 3 times.
Everybody's got their whole shtick. Everybody's got their whole routine. It's what ball players do.
But also, ball players, like we were just talking about before.
Creatures of habit.
No, they're going to get around this rule, like you were saying before. So, I don't know, like, if they're running out of time, could they just throw a pickoff that they don't even want to do?
I would assume so.
It's a pickoff.
Because the clock resets.
Why not? If you're not ready to throw and there's a guy at first base, you just throw it. So now
that's ridiculous.
No, but now you just made the game longer. Because now he's got to get the ball back. He didn't want to throw over there, but he ran out of time. So how's this working out for you?
It's true.
And the other, like, what about stepping off? What do you? I get something in my eye. You're gonna give him a ball because he would.
Gnat flew into his eye.
Gnat flew into his eye. Jabba rules. The gnat flew into his eye during a playoff game. Does he walk the guy 4 pitches because his gnat in the eye? Like, I don't understand. There's ways around this rule.
Of course, there's ways around it.
Just let it. I'm kind of running out of stamina here.
I get it.
Those are really my points on. It's just ridiculous.
Again, maybe it's just like being stubborn, but a lot of ball players
and I'm not
push back on it.
One last thing, I'm not gonna sit there and watch a playoff game be decided on a 3-2 count bases loaded because a pitcher took too long or a batter didn't get to the box.
3-2 count, bases loaded, Game 7 of the World Series, and the batter's got to hurry up. You can't let him breathe.
It's going to be decided on a ball that wasn't even thrown.
Now, I'm sure, I hope it doesn't get that far.
I'm just saying,
you never know.
Get it out of here.
But you can't let the batter breathe in Game 7 of the World Series, 3-2 count. Come on, team down a run. Mm-hmm. Let the guy breathe. Let him go through his routine.
It's a big moment.
I don't understand.
This is what they train for. Give them a couple seconds.
And as we wrap up here, okay, my last point is, listen, just like in the NFL, okay, where now offense reigns supreme, everybody loves to watch that the Chiefs the offense, the Chiefs Patriot game,
Chiefs Rams, jeez.
And Chiefs Rams, they're both games.
140 points.
The Chiefs Patriot game was like 48-45 or whatever it was. Something around that, 48-40. But everybody loves those types of games. Everyone wants to see touchdowns. Everybody wants to see celebrations. Everybody loves that. How many people said the Super Bowl was awful because it was 13-3? It was boring, no action. Okay? Everybody, just like the NFL, MLB offenses are getting more and more dangerous. The lineups are getting the lineups are getting more and more dangerous. These kids are coming up starting to rake. They're hitting the baseball. Runs are getting scored. Home runs are being hit. Doubles are being smacked. This also makes the game longer. The innings are lasting longer.
If you want 1-0 2-hour game, then don't complain about no offense. Give or take.
Like, I don't get it. I don't. People want to see action. They want to see offense. They want to see touchdowns. No one's complaining in football.
No.
They love that game and they hate the Super Bowl. So if you got 48-45 and you got 13-3, what do you hate? Baseball game, what do you love? Maybe it's a little different for people. I don't know. But do you want to see 1-0 or do you want to see 10-8?
Yep.
And if it's a 10-8 game, it's going to be over 3 hours.
100%.
And if you're a Yankee fan or a Red Sox fan,
I don't care what clock you put in. 10-8 is going over 3 hours.
And I'm sorry, that game, and I know it went to extras, but that game, the World Series game, I thought it was one of, if not the best game I've ever seen in my life. I just stayed up for that from the very first pitch until Muncy hit that home run. I stayed up, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it again every night if I have to. That is the bottom line.
Yep.
And I am not a fan of pitch clock. Okay,
neither of us,
Mr. Manfred.
If we didn't get it across here,
That's it. But listen, that's it. That's all we have to offer for tonight. We are coming back in a couple weeks with one of our favorite episodes.
Let's do it.
We are going to be talking about sleepers.
Sleepers, baby.
That is our favorite episode because...
Just yelling at each other sleepers. Like, get out of here.
As you can see, Johnny is all about the White Sox.
Let's go, Chi Sox.
I have to do a little more looking into my teams here, my sneaky teams.
I get a little bit
Yeah,
too.
yeah, look. But again, we are coming back in a couple of weeks with some sleepers, and it basically a season preview because it is a month away. Woo. And it's flying and like, unbelievable. Can't believe it. So we hope to see you then. As for tonight, thanks for listening. Be sure to check out our YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our iTunes, our SoundCloud. Give the Goombas a follow on our Instagram and our Twitter at We're the Goombas. And the Goombas again. Salud.
Arrivederci.